single pilot IFR, and I got my first real world hold in IMC.
Maintain 4,000, Charlie Golf Alpha. And just a question about the approach. I set it up and it's got me going as a fly-by cold 2, so it'll be a tight turn by Raro. Is that cool, or do you want me to go do the hold, turn around at cold 2?
Charlie Foxtrot, Charlie Golf Alpha, you can't make that hard left turn. You got to do the procedure turn. And I might actually have to hold you at cold 2 for a few laps for a medevac nearby.
Okay, so I'll set up for the hold at cold 2. Thanks, Charlie Golf Alpha. And that's why you ask.
There were a bunch of firsts on this 2,000-mile trip.
It's all about learning and asking, right? My instincts told me that was a bit of a sharp turn. The avionics were like, I'll do it.
Another thing I'd never seen before was this unique destination, which sadly is permanently closed as of today.
This is crazy. This airport, the runway is actually cut in half by the border. You could actually start your landing roll in Canada and end it in the US.
It's often said that getting your pilot license is a license to learn, and that is definitely the case with the instrument rating. Add complex avionics to the mix, and every trip is definitely full of lots of learning experiences. In this case, I was flying from Toronto to Winnipeg and back, which is a little over 2,000 miles. Initially, the weather wasn't challenging, but it got interesting as I got further along the route.
So, I got some not looking pretty weather, which I knew was the thing. I might make it to KDLH. I don't know why I'm getting some weird static. Oh, that's the ATIS. Okay, we're going to turn that off. Can't quite hear the ATIS yet, but I've got the weather info next to SiriusXM. Wind calm, sky clear. That's kind of amazing, but it's going to get bad when I get further. I am a little bit behind, and I want time on the ground to think. I have a cell signal, so let me try something. I want to amend it. Now, let's change it to 1220. How's that going to work? We got 3G. It's thinking, amend. Yeah. Anyway, it's worth trying.
This was a big flying day with multiple IFR legs, totaling more than 6 hours, 2 border crossings, and some challenging weather coming up midway. I'd filed the flight plan for the next leg already, with the goal being to minimize downtime to get ahead of that system, but it was weighing on me that I'd cut it too close. It was quiet on frequency, and it occurred to me that I had one more resource here that I could possibly leverage to remove that stress.
Toronto, Foxtrot, Charlie Golf Alpha request.
Charlie Golf Alpha, go ahead.
I'm wondering if you have access to edit the next flight plan. I'm realizing I'm a little bit behind. I got to clear customs. Can you change my departure time out of Sault Ste. Marie?
I can certainly try. What time do you want to depart?
Just give me an extra half hour. I think I had it set for 11:45.
You did. Yeah, I'll add a half hour, no problem.
Appreciate that. Thank you. I guess while I got you, do you want to talk about the approach? I'm looking at RNAV 32 via ZV, if that's something you're going to work on, or it's the next guy.
No, that's me as well. You are clear direct ZV at this time, and when ready to send 5,000. The Sanderson altimeter 3022.
3022, direct ZV, and when ready, I'll descend 5,000 Foxtrot Charlie Golf Alpha.
Roger.
Alright, and I'm not ready because my VSR is 290, so I can wait, but I can bug it. 5,000. That's cool, so I wasn't able to edit my flight plan even though I had a cell signal because I was just too close to it, but I got him to add me a half an hour. Probably need to think about the next one, but I can do that on the ground. And I'm going to be thinking about the next one anyways because that is coming at Duluth. I don't know, according to the TAF, they're not going to get hit by the storms, so 30% prob between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. That's late, but that's a lot coming right at it. So I think it stops me from going further though. But we'll look at that on the ground, make some decisions.
So what I'm going to do is cut together the best learning moments from all the various legs. In this case, I'm landing Sault Ste. Marie to clear customs into the United States initially. This route had me flying under Lake Superior and then re-entering Canada, so I had to do 2 border crossings in the same day, which logistically is pretty challenging. A recent episode covers my process for crossing the border, including my thorough new checklist, which came to fruition through some various painful experiences, including nearly facing a $5,000 fine on the US side, and another mistake that triggered a Cador on the Canadian side. For instance, I've recently found this app called FlashPass. I'm not sponsored by them, but it's super easy to deal with the EAPIS process, which I have previously found arduous and stressful. So if you're interested in learning more about general aviation border crossing, definitely check out that episode. This one is going to be more about the IFR specifics in terms of flying this route. So after a smooth experience clearing customs in Sault Ste. Marie, we're back on board heading toward Duluth. And this is when the weather is going to start to get challenging.
Just kind of on our way from Sault Ste. Marie to where we're going. Duluth. Looking good to get into Duluth. That was what I was worried about, but we're going to beat that. But to get to Winnipeg, the weather's still good in Duluth, and it's not forecast to get bad until after 4 p.m. local, and even then it's not terrible.
November 49 uniform contact, Cleveland Center 127.7.
After 10 p.m. storms. So this is better than it was looking like it would have been last night.
I've got several hours of flying ahead of me today, and I really appreciate being able to stay situationally aware about the upcoming weather.
But I do expect to have to get creative to get from there to Winnipeg, though. Gotta go that way.
If you've been following this channel for a while, you'll know that I'm proud to work with SiriusXM Aviation. I recently hosted a webinar that talks about how I work with this data on board this airplane as well as others that don't have built-in receivers. Check the description for the link to review it.
See what we get. Gonna offer me the visual for 2-1. Got the RNAV loaded. Close tank. Gas, undercarriage is down. Mixture, not yet. Prop, not yet. Switches, big bag's already on. No need for pitot heat. 10 degrees and no visual moisture. Fuel pump, not yet. There's a lot of mess going on over there in Minneapolis, but I'm going to dodge it. Definitely for here. And possibly for Winnipeg. Yeah, it'll be close. Coming at us, but if I can get ahead of that.
RB Charlie Foxtrot, Charlie Golf Alpha, pilot's discretion, maintain 4,000.
Maintain 4,000, pilot's discretion, Charlie Golf Alpha. Close enough that I might as well get down. Alright, I cannot forget to call CAMPAS and set up the EAPIS departure report if I decide to launch. Problem is I'm not sure, so that's why those things are not done already. I can get on the ground and make some decisions. As if I stop, I'm staying the night, because that'll just be...
Another interesting aspect of this trip is that in some places near the border, there are limited areas of radar coverage.
And Duluth is Foxtrot, check off Alpha request.
Say request.
Yeah, I'm going to be getting out of here shortly, trying to get to Winnipeg, but I'm going to make some decisions on the ground about this weather. But if I do get airborne, how's your radar for helping me out if I'm in cloud for storm avoidance?
You know, on your way to Winnipeg, most of it's just straightly west of Duluth. Right now, I only see out to 60 miles, but it looks good from Duluth northwestbound.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. So I'll make some decisions on the ground, and I'll be talking to you again with the next flight plan in probably half an hour. Shall I go, Papa?
RV Charlie Foxtrot, Charlie Golf Alpha. The airport at your 11 to 12 o'clock, 10 miles.
Yeah, airport in sight. Foxtrot, Charlie Golf Alpha.
Charlie Foxtrot, Charlie Golf Alpha. Cleared visual approach, runway 21. Contact Duluth Tower, 118.3.
Clear for the visual 21 over the tower, 1183, Charlie Golf Alpha.
Another thing worth mentioning is that obviously I'm talking to myself a lot. That is what I do normally when flying, regardless of filming.
Left crosswind.
But many pilots I've spoken to say they talk to themselves as well. Comment below if you do, or let us know if you think it's just weird. Regardless, I'm capturing these videos for the debrief, and when I find something worthy of sharing, I do, so do not consider this training material. I'm just a dude trying to get better as an instrument pilot in this case. Okay, so anyways, this stop at Duluth was mainly to obviously get fuel, check the weather, file my EAPIS departure report, call CAMPAS, and then get back on the way.
Couldn't have cut that any closer. Yeah. Alright. Looks like I'm gonna beat this system just barely. That's awesome.
And in terms of debriefing, I forgot to turn off my fuel pump on this leg. I'm going to realize it shortly, but anyways, that's a goofy mistake, but I'm sharing it.
Alright, so this is interesting. I just got cleared direct to hole 2. It's got a hold entry, a hold, and a hold exit. I just thought, okay, I'll go direct to hold exit. But looking at the angle that I'm approaching it from, I'm realizing maybe it would have made sense to do the hold just to get myself turned around. But anyway, the avionics did it and has me doing a pretty sharp hairpin turn.
Again, in terms of the debrief, I have to admit that I have literally never done a procedure turn in all of my actual IFR flying, and definitely have never seen an approach that has a hold as a part of it. Flying in the areas that I fly in Canada and most of the states that I've flown in, I've never seen this before.
So it's getting the weather from 15 miles away, 15 minutes ago, 170, 6 knots, 10 miles, 1900 foot, pattern. So I should be able to be visual, but anyway.
The purpose of this trip was to get to Winnipeg for the Canadian National Aerobatic Contest. Most of the competitors use this airport to clear customs because it is super convenient and very unique in terms of literally existing in both countries. But unfortunately, as of publishing this episode today on December 27th, this airport is now permanently closed.
This airport is literally on the physical border. Like, look at that. The runway is actually cut in half by the border. I've never seen anything like that. You could actually start your landing roll in Canada and end it in the US, which is what will happen for me today because I'm going to have to do the approach from the north. So this is an interesting route. I had to cross the border twice to get to Winnipeg, and now I'm going to have to cross the border during my landing roll. So I'm hoping I did this right. I'm cleared to hole 2, but it's going to make a hard turn before that as a fly-by waypoint. Not going to enter the hole to do the turnaround. Maybe I'll verify as I get closer. I got 20 minutes. Go hole 2. So the AFD says it's bare asphalt, I think. Poor. Our flight says poor asphalt. Lovely. No gas available, somebody's saying. This is fine. Runway is pretty rough, but landable. I look at a flat on landing, it was just a pavement in a Cessna 340. Yeah. Alright, so that's kind of what I expected. I love how Luke didn't even say anything about that. And he flies an extra into there. So, I guess I'm going to 3-point it or tail low wheel it. I'm definitely not going to try to be slow when I touch.
Charlie Foxtrot, Charlie Golf Alpha, descender pilot's discretion maintain 3,000.
We send a 3,000 pilot's discretion, Charlie Golf Alpha. I don't really know what that means, pilot's discretion. But I'm not really at my TOD yet, so I'm going to wait.
Charlie Foxtrot, Charlie Golf Alpha, amend altitude, descender pilot's discretion maintain 4,000.
A concern that I had on this trip, which I haven't yet explicitly addressed in this episode, has to do with the very remote terrain out here. I was flying with a survival kit and a PLB. The rest of this trip has got a lot of good IFR stuff, including the real-world hold in IMC and arriving at Piney Pine Airport, but I wanted to publish this portion today in honor of the closing of Piney Pine, which I only learned about while editing a couple weeks ago. But I've got part 2 mostly complete. It just was going to be a 30-minute episode if I published all of this together, so I'm going to get that one out within 72 hours basically. So until then, keep your flight chops sharp.
Charlie Foxtrot, Charlie Golf Alpha, I might actually have to hold you at hole 2 for a few laps for a medevac nearby.
Okay, so I'll set up for the hold at hole 2. Thanks, Charlie Golf Alpha.